I was gonna say good morning, but it is now 12:01, so it is a good afternoon situation. And this is the first video that we're really filming today, and the reason the reason for that is something that we're going to explain a bit later. But we've been driving a lot, and we're going to look for a big map, hopefully, to explain what has happened. And we got up early, and we've been in the car for quite a while. We've come up to the northernmost area of Honshu, which
that trip was an entire Hamilton.
Yeah, we listened to the Hamilton soundtrack one time and got all the way through it. It's pretty long, so that's how long we were driving, plus some on each side of it. But yeah, we've come to the most northern part of Honshu, and it's like this little isthmus or peninsula or something that like juts out into the sea. I'm not sure what the geographical term for this is. And the thing that is going on up here, aside from just being like the northernmost northern part of a thing, is tuna. They have lots of places that are really famous for maguro. And the reason is because the ocean completely surrounds this strut of land that goes out into the ocean, and there is a lot of good feeding apparently for the tuna to come and congregate in this area. So a pretty substantial tuna industry has grown up around it and apparently still exists. There's a bunch of these restaurants on this little area that we're at, and they have all got I'm not sure if you can see around me, but lots of tuna stuff going on around us for decorations. People with these giant fish that sold for thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's a whole thing. Tuna is the game. This excites me because tuna is my game when it comes to fish. It's my favorite fish because it's not so fishy. I like that aspect. So I have ordered a Sanshoku Magurodon, which is 3 different colors or varieties of tuna. So it's just 3 different cuts of it. And it is in this glorious bowl. And this is one of the most expensive meals I think I have ever ordered. It's about $35 USD. And yeah, I mean, it looks absolutely phenomenal. You got some wasabi and some shoyu over here, and I'm kind of hoping it's the good shoyu. I'm kind of assuming it is. When we came into this particular restaurant, there was quite a line. And part of that is because it's noon, part of that is because it's a weekend that's also a holiday weekend, and part of that I think is just because this place is kind of known. There's bike tours and stuff, people on motorcycles, that kind of thing going on. So people come up here for a nice ride during the summer and get them some tuna. Here's my first piece of very expensive tuna, for me anyways. I know this gets really expensive, it's just for me, it's a lot of money. It just melted. It's really good. It's really good. Sometimes when you get cheap tuna at a restaurant that does it for low prices or whatever, it can be a little chewy. That certainly wasn't chewy. It was just like butter almost, and it won't have a lot of flavor because it's been frozen 6 times. You know what I mean? A teenager in the back is putting it on this sushi. It's not what's going on here. This tastes very, very fresh.
Eat a fatty one.
Eat a fatty one. It's actually kind of hard to tell. Maybe the lighting that I have. Is this the fatty one? It's a more pink color. I don't think it is, but it's a different one than what I just ate. My God. Even more buttery. I think the one I ate was fatty. It's just dissolving. And I think 2 of them look really similar. There should be 3 in here, so I'm just going to try one more that I think this is different. But the problem with this, and part of the reason that I've never wanted to eat something of this value when it comes to maguro, is now I'm going to start justifying it in my head on a regular basis. Well, it's pretty good. Maybe I should get the expensive stuff, and then it's a slippery slope. You know what I'm saying?
I do not advise.
Okay, this one was different. This is firmer. Usually when I'm eating maguro at cheap sushi restaurants, it's almost just a vehicle to have wasabi, because I really like wasabi, and it's a non-offensive flavored thing to bring the wasabi into my mouth. But this is way, way more about the fish. You could eat that without anything at all and be having a good time, which is a big step above super cheap kaiten sushi.
Finally, we've come to a place that does seafood, and Eric Klein will eat something. Oh my god. You don't know how many seafood places that we've gone to, and you just look at a collection of terrifying things that you know Eric's not going to be into, and he's not going to go to this place and eat it. But I've circled it in the book. I've circled millions of these in the book. But unless it says Magurodon on it, he's not coming in the building. Okay? So that's where I'm at right now. I'm pretty happy. I have ordered probably what I would consider to be one of the scariest things on the menu. I just got the variety dish, because fuck it. That has ended with this monstrosity that I'm actually a little nervous about, but I hear people like this. This is abalone, and it looks inedible. That's how I feel about that. That looks inedible. So I just thought I'd give you guys a peek at me doing something that I feel weird about. I want to get a middle piece. It's harder than I thought it was going to be. It's like a mushroom. It feels like a mushroom. Okay, all right. Oh my god, it's reacting to the soy sauce.
What do you
It
mean?
is reacting to the soy sauce. It's swole. It's swelled up. Oh my god, I'll put another one in there. Watch it when it drops. It moves. What is going on here?
Gambate.
It's gonna like take over my organs. If I start acting weird after this, I'm not me, okay? Oh, it's hard. It's really hard. Why is it so hard? It's crunchy. Your mom likes this? It's like eating an earlobe. Oh god. I regret my choices. This is like not great. I'm gonna keep eating it until I realize what people like about this, because it's not offensive. It's not fishy. It might be a little bit fishy. Did you see it move when it touched the soy sauce?
You
Like,
came to the-
last breath.
You came to the Maguro place and you ordered not Maguro.
I ordered some Maguro. I got it. It's right there. Don't try to talk to me about Maguro.
So I see you finished this. How do you feel?
That if I ever see that word again, I will not order it. That was the worst seafood I've ever had. Like, I don't, you know how people eat cartilage of anything? That's exactly what that was. I'll encourage other people to order it so that I can show them that that thing does that in the soy sauce, and then I'll be like, nah, I'm good, I don't need none. And they'll be like, I gotta eat this shit.
You said it was worse than the Sanshoku.
It was worse than the Sanshoku. He made it look like it was normal, so I'm gonna do that now.
I'm gonna bet it's cheesy. Is it cheesy?
I regret this. If you eat the edible parts of the Sanshoku, probably very fun. But when you eat the turds of the Sanshoku, they're about equal. It was just crunchy and weird and not good, and
You found sea hormone.
I found. I don't even. There's. It was crunchy, son. What? For those who don't know and didn't take the time to Google what an abalone is, I took the time once the meal had arrived. This is what it looks like.
That's kind of vile.
An update on that meal, I'd mark it as probably one of my biggest disappointments of 2021.
Really?
Yeah, and it's not based on the fact that I ate that weird thing and I didn't like it. That had nothing to do with it. The rice, the basis of a great sashimi or sushi situation, was terrible. It was terrible. Ugh.
Yeah, the rice was pretty bad.
I feel like it's nice that you would back me up on that.
I'm
because,
backing you up on that, yeah. But the fish that I got was extremely good. But was it worth $35 for those like 7 pieces of fish or whatever that were on the plate? That's that keeps me from feeling like I'm going to be addicted to getting expensive tuna in the future. So I think that's probably a good thing. I'm glad to have had to experience And I think the restaurant was pretty cool.
Yeah, that restaurant was cool, and they had a lot of options that were like 1,000 yen and under. And I wish I'd just gone with my shitty cheap self, like with my natural self, and gotten something cheap and grungy and delicious. But I also like to try scary things.
You do.
Yeah, like this. On a clear day, you could see stuff, but you can't see shit right now. Hokkaido is over there. I promise you, Hokkaido is right on the other side of here. And yeah.
I don't know if it's visible, is it? I'm not sure how far it is.
Look, I was promised visibility. I don't know if it's visible, but I really thought you'd be able to see it. Like at least like an island or something. This is what we got.
This is the most northern point, right? Like, are we at it right now?
I think so. There might be more norther over there into the vast nothingness over there. Eric said we had to find a map, and it needed to be pretty big, and we were having bad luck. And then look at what we found. The reason that we're looking for the map is because I want to explain why today ended up being quite a driving day. So come with me.
Define Aomori first.
This is Aomori. We'll say from this crack above is Aomori.
Roughly.
Okay? We started our journey over here. We came over and we played around in here yesterday. Our hopes were that we were going to take a ferry from this point to this point. What a small distance. It's a 1-hour ferry ride. We messaged the people, they said the ferry is full. So what that meant is that we then drove all the way around here. And now we're here. So we've gone even further than the ferry would have taken us. We started right here, and that took about 3 hours. I'd say it took 3 hours.
Yeah, but from where we would have been on the ferry, the ferry goes from like right here, yeah?
Yeah, and that
it goes to like right here.
Here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
that ferry probably saves 4 hours, 4.5 hours of driving.
The ferry saves 4.5 hours, and it costs like either 6,000 to 8,000 depending on your car. So you have to have a good think about that. Do you want to spend time riding in the car singing to Hamilton? Yes. So in a way, I'm kind of happy that we didn't go on the ferry, although it's been an intense driving moment for like the last 24 hours.
Explain the rest of the day.
What's the rest of the day? Today?
Yeah,
what we're gonna do?
You got a map right here. Point at what you think we're gonna do. I mean, maybe it'll go off rails.
This is the horn number 1, and we're at horn number 1 right now. This is the northernmost point of Honshu. And we had seen that the tunnel went here yesterday. That was kind of cool. That's where the tunnel went yesterday. For those who are still with us. So we're at horn number 1. We're gonna go over to horn number 2 now that we're fed and have sufficiently seen an amazing view. And we're gonna go over here, and there's a little bit of a surprise. Eric already knows what the surprise is, and I wish I hadn't dropped it because he would have been like, but I think he's still gonna go, and you don't know, so prepare to.
What's going on here, Katie?
Why do you have to turn on the camera and just when I don't turn on the camera when you do stuff?
It's that you didn't do stuff. You didn't close the door.
What sort of animals are in the car now? I left my door open for the entire time we've been here, which is at least like an hour.
What the hell? We have driven to the other coast, and it was, I don't know, how long? An hour, 2 hours? Something. I just lost track of time.
An hour and a half.
And not the other coast, but the other tip, like the other horn that was on the top of Aomori.
Go around the horn!
Go around the horn.
Like God intended.
And that's really funny, because that is actually kind of thematically correct. That quote, if you know what that is, and maybe you'll like this all together as to why I think that's thematically correct when we get to the end of this little walk here that we're taking, and I turn the camera around.
I also want to note that I Like all other adults have closed the driver's door to the car.
The drive here was all right though. There was some little fishing villages and along the sea, and it eventually turned into blue skies.
Yeah.
So it's a lot nicer over here right now than it was over there.
That the view that we have now is unfettered.
Yep.
Shall we spin?
Oh yes, yes. Should we stay in the shot or?
I don't know. I
look
can't
at all
see
those...
a goddamn thing because of the sun.
Look at all those ponies, y'all. We got a pony situation.
They're wild ponies. They just live here next to the lighthouse. Let's go frolic.
This is not really the footwear for pony spotting. We don't really know exactly why this is happening, but it's a pack of wild horses that lives in this area of this northern bit of the Horn, not the most northern bit, but the second most northern bit of Aomori. And they're right on the coast, and it's this picturesque, beautiful area, and we're lucky that the sky has opened up and become blue for us, because if it was all foggy, it would still be cool to see the ponies, but seeing it now is something about it that's kind of magical. And there's quite a lot of them, and just picked up a few things that I've heard an older dude talking about, and he is like the pony wrangler. He's got like an orange jacket on, and he tells people not to get too close, and there's a reason that you don't get too close. And one of the things he was telling somebody is that there's these big bugs that are chewing on the horses, and if one of them bites the horse, like the horse is constantly like doing this, right, like trying to get him to go away, but if one bites the horse, it'll like freak out and just run forward. And we saw it freak out and run forward directly at this girl, and she like jumped out of the way, and the old man got in front of the horse, and it was a scene. It's not that they are aggressive in any way, it's just that they can act kind of unpredictably. He also mentioned that they are all like the same breed, even though they're different colors and stuff. They're the same like family of like pony, whatever. I know they're not ponies, they're horses, but it's fun to say pony. The word pony is just so tasty. And they are fairly large, like kind of beefy, thick looking horses. They're not quite like what I saw up in Hokkaido when they had that horrible horse race that I went to. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But they are thick and like kind of like sturdy looking animals, and they are about the same height of a horse that I would think of in my head. If I told you this is how big a horse is, that's about what I would say. It's not like they're extra tall or extra small or anything. And yeah, they're all really interested in the grass. And the grass is making them gassy. Bro. Quite gassy animals. So that's what's going on here at the Pony Peninsula. It's pretty awesome. I can't believe you can get this close to it. The old man that is supposed to be watching everybody has left. He's walking away now. So we're all on our own. So hopefully there's no like...
Coming straight for you,
he's
son.
coming straight for us. So like right now, if he gets bit and gets freaked out, I'm in the line of fire. That's what I've learned from the 20 minutes that we've been here watching them. So maybe not be here much longer. We're now driving even further. Today is like 6 hours in the car, to be real. So we're going from the ponies down to Hachinoe, which is where we started our adventure that you didn't see because we didn't film there.
And we won't film there.
We aren't going to film there. Aomori is really big. We're going to be up here for 4 days, and we still aren't going to really nail down everything. So that's just I mean, how do you do everything in a prefecture? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going to drop off the car, and then we are getting on a train to go to a town we've already been to do a thing tomorrow morning that we couldn't do before, and also maybe hopefully find a fika that we couldn't find before, and then go back to Aomori Shi tomorrow, and it's a whole thing.
I'm gonna make this apple pie my bitch.
But I just wanted to tell you that they got lime Coca-Cola right now, and what do you think?
I feel like it is a lime beverage that they put some Coca-Cola in, and I am fine with that.
It's pretty limey. The drive right now is just like kind of going through the forest and stuff.
Letting people on motorcycles pass you.
Yeah.
Like that's all I've really been doing is like, don't crash and let the motorcycles go past.
I feel like today, like the pony excitement is enough excitement for an entire day, so it was really good that it was put in today. I don't know if I could have dealt with that situation if it had been like a normal, otherwise exciting day. So it's good that I've got this all the time on the road.
I gotta
to just
set the
like
ponies to the side in the future. I didn't know that I needed to do that, but I instinctually did.
Well done. It's been a minute since we made a video about a toilet, and I'm in a Lawson, which is a convenience store, and it is incredibly clean in this little toilet room. And I'd like to point out that it is so clean, the staff makes sure that they fold the little triangles on the tips of the toilet paper. This is not the kind of thing you'll see at a truck stop in America, that's for certain. When was the last time you saw this happen?
Sometimes you just gotta turn around in the car and come and look at some cool ass shit. What the hell? So this is a barber shop that's called Gangnam Katto. So they're cutting people's hair, and I guess they want to get kids hyped about coming to get their hair cut, and kids would be hyped, son. I don't know if we're supposed to touch it, but I kind of just want to show, like, it's squishy. It's not hard, it's squishy, and like slightly flexible. Try not to hurt it too much. I don't want to do that. But look at this guy. I know you've only got most of me in there. Is the rest of him in there?
Go back and stand under him for perspective. Like, hold on a second. Let me see if I can get everybody to see how... There we go. That's how big that thing is.
Very cool.
This is awesome. And you can see this one here. There's like, oh, let me see. Yeah, there you go. You can see the light inside. So some of them have got electricity run into them so that they can have light up eyes and stuff.
This is lit up too.
Oh, is it? Oh, I bet
so.
this is pretty cool at night.
Yeah, could be really cool at night.
Really cool.
Let's go get some money to donate.
If you watch the YouTube channel, Not Just Bikes, you're gonna know the word strodes. And this is the example that I have for a Japanese strode. They're terrible.
They had several choices for apples. I got these because I don't know what these kanjis are. They had Fuji apples. They had, and it says Aomori Ken, which is pretty cool.
Like kind of like dark red ball.
Dark red balls, what we're going for here. Yeah, so I'm gonna give them a try. They also had Jana Golds, which I eat Fuji and Jana Gold. I can get those. And I started thinking to myself as I'm looking at these apples, am I just eating Aomori apples in Tokyo? And now I've just been obsessed with these when I'm here. Yeah, so.
But it did take you, what, 4 days?
Yeah.
I just noticed the name of this store. That's pretty nice.
The car has been dropped off. I've lost a lot of attachment to four wheels, which in a way feels good because I'm a little overdriven. I'm ready to let somebody else pilot us to the next step, which is going to be taking a Shinkansen from Hachinoe to the future. But until then, we are going to be getting some noodles, and many of you may know, but some may not know, that my resolution this year is to eat as much ramen as possible. This is probably like ramen number 45 or 46 of this year, and it's looking pretty good. It is negi, as you can see the onions on top, ton for pork, and shio for salt. Those are the components that are happening here, and then there's a huge amount of pepper on top, which is all going into my nostrils, and it's smelling pretty good. One of the things that we've been toying with recently is whether or not we're going to start making some ramen videos this year, next year, of just the best ramens that I have found during my travels. Hoping that this is going to be one of them, but I've found some pretty damn good ones this year so far. I'm gonna jump in, and I like to just do this. That feels, it's hard to push down. There's a lot of noodles in there. Gotta get a little bit of the broth. It looks a little bit spicy. It tastes like Campbell's chicken soup.
In a good
Like
way or in a bad
surprisingly
way?
Campbell's chicken soup. It's in a good way. Like wholesome, not spicy. It's kind of white, as you can see, so it has kind of that milky feel to it. It's not just like a...
It's kind of like the shio base that I think, that salt base. That
but it also has, I think the white's coming from the tone, is coming from the pork, and then this is just a shio base. That's a good base. All right. There's noodles in here somewhere.
That's the thing about ramen. There's so many different little pieces that you have to like investigate to make a full picture.
Yes. You've got the meat, you've got the toppings that they put in, and you can always put more toppings if you want. Here are our noodles, if I can grab some. I'd call those standard. I'd call them standard noodles. But that broth. Holy crap. It's milky and good. I can't wait to get all these onions in there to start soaking that up. I've put my ramens into 3 different categories. Top 5, bottom 5, meaty middle. This is in the meaty middle, but I would more than likely eat it again based on the broth so far.
While Katie has been on her ramen adventure this year, I have been along for some, but not all of it. My go-to is usually tantan men because it's kind of got like this spice to it that makes everything tingle, and I'm just a big fan of it. The tantan men also usually has a bit of ground beef or ground pork. Is it beef? It's pork? Beef? Ground meat?
I had no idea.
Yeah, ground meat in it, and I don't know, just get down on it. This one, however, surprisingly, is covered in all these teeny tiny little shrimps, and I'm not a big fan of that, but there wasn't little plastic things up front, so I didn't know that was going to happen. You know what I'm talking about? Like the plastic displays. So I didn't know that was what I was getting into. So I'm just going to hopefully be okay with this. This little restaurant it had okay reviews on the internet, but it's not like a super special place. We came here because it was close to the train station, and we got a little bit of time before the Shinkansen leaves, so we were like, okay, we'll get some lunch, or dinner rather. Let me go ahead and get into this, but yeah, tantan men, y'all. Tantan men, that's where it is. Good and spicy. Good base. Let me see if I can get I think these little shrimp are just going to be crunchy, not flavorful. Yeah, it's just a texture thing. I'm going to be totally fine eating this. I was a little worried that it was going to be a little fishy or something like that. But, yeah, I mean, you got the noodles. You don't like these because they're not firm enough.
It's true.
Yeah, they're fine though. It's not like bad or anything. And this one, not all tantan men, but this one has got some meat in it as well. That's okay. It's not doing anything flavor-wise. It's fine, but I would say that I think when you said this is in the meaty middle, that's a pretty good description of what's going on. The broth is good though. The broth is, I would say the broth is on point. That's where I'm going to put it. Last night ended with a sequence of things that required us to not speak. We had our lunch our dinner with the ramen and the tantan men, and then we headed straight for the train. And when you're on the Shinkansen, especially during Corona times, like there's a no talking situation. Like we whisper to each other when we're on there, but we certainly I'm not going to like start making videos and stuff on there. It's normally a pretty quiet mode of transportation in general, because the train is so quiet. It's weird. Like that's what the Shinkansen is. It's like when you're on it, you're almost like, why is there no sound happening and I'm moving? It's a weird experience, and that's kind of like explains what it's like to be on the bullet train. But during Corona time, it's like even more hyped up. Like they've had times where they have asked people to like not even sit next to each other if they know each other. Like you have to sit like in different rows to separate people up and stuff like that.
They were doing that before. Like me and my friends went on a trip. There were 4 of us, and
but it was during Corona time.
We had to. Yeah, it was there during that time, which it still is that time. It's a very confusing time, and they made us all sit separately. Like there are 3 seats and 2 seats, and only one person was allowed to sit in the 2-seater, and 2 people could sit in the 3-seater, but there had to be the space between you.
Yeah.
They've dropped that.
They've stopped doing. I think that's the reason they were doing that is because ridership was so low that they were
could.
able to, and now they can't. You have like a feather or something.
I didn't know if they were enforcing the lower ridership or if
yeah, I think
that
it was
a
just
result
nobody
of
was
people
traveling.
just not traveling.
But it's ramped back up and we're allowed to sit next to each other. But still, to speak on that train right now would be like a major social faux pas. Like it would not be like a legit thing to do. And then we came back to Hiroseki. Did I finally say it right? What? Really? Hirosaki. This word is in my head. I'm having a hard time with it. Hirosaki. And we've come back here, and this is where a couple days ago we ate a meal with a whole ton of food in this like kind of otaku looking place, and there were all the miniature buildings and things like that, if you recall. So we're back here for a different activity that you'll be seeing in the future. But
it's breakfast time. We didn't even explain the hotel.
That's what I was getting to. We came
How do you
here,
get there?
And then we got here kind of late. I don't know, 9:30 or 10 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah, it was about 9:30. We checked into the hotel.
We checked into the hotel. Dude, was amazing. It was a hostel.
Yeah, I had booked it, and I thought, okay, I'm booking something called a studio at a hostel.
Yeah,
All
what
right,
is that?
So that seemed like a private room to me when you write the word studio. It was not. It's a double bunk capsule. Or I shouldn't say bunk. It's like a double bed capsule.
It was
room.
it was basically a capsule hotel, which didn't have a door on the capsules. They were just like little shades that you would put down.
Shade down.
But it was incredibly clean.
I also feel like maybe it just opened.
I don't know. They're doing really good. It's sometimes when you go and you've traveled a lot and you've been to a lot of hotels and a lot of like hostels and stuff, you start to see where things could be improved upon and systems that could be in place to make things smoother for the guests. They have made everything as streamlined as possible. Like everything is perfect. Everything you need is there. There's not too much stuff all over the place. It's really clean.
I had contemplated not going to this hostel because of shared shower. Shared shower has started to turn my stomach because
Sometimes
shared
they can be
shower
gnarly.
has turned into just deal with it.
Yeah.
Just deal with what we don't take care of properly. And
This place was beautiful.
it was. I can definitely look at it and go, that's better than my shower at home. And I treat my shower at home really, really well. And they've done even better.
Do you remember what it cost?
It was like $5,400 for 2 people.
Okay,
So
that's,
like,
yeah, it's not bad.
yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the interesting aspect of it is it was a capsule hotel essentially, only we slept in the same capsule, which is kind of like, I don't think that's usually a thing. But they've adapted that idea. It made it a thing where couples can stay in one larger bed, and they seem to have singles as well. But yeah, I was just really impressed with how like ridiculously, unbelievably clean it was in there. And the dude had all his systems locked down. It was a really nice stay, except these capsules have really thin walls, and you can hear every tiny noise somebody else makes.
Yeah,
and people
the man
weren't
next to us was coughing.
Yes, he was coughing, and there was
I
somebody
knocked
that
on
was.
the wall.
I know you did, because that woke me up.
And then I put my headphones in. I was like, Katie, you control you. Don't
He's coughing. What can he do?
Shut up. I'm trying to go to bed.
But you could hear like even somebody next to us that was like just lightly snoring, and you could still even hear that.
Or rolling over.
Yeah, just moving. People weren't like partying and having noise. Like it wasn't like that. It was just like living sound. And I'm sure we were annoying when we came in at 9:30, 10 o'clock and like made a bunch of noise putting our bags down. But anyway, we're having breakfast. I'm having something that I have kind of been obsessed with. This is a, what is it called? A green smoothie. It's called green smoothie. And it basically tastes like kiwi. Have you ever tasted it? You've never tasted it?
I don't know.
Taste it and just tell me. You can do the food review since I know I love it. Be careful, I already unscrewed the top.
That is true. It is halfway unscrewed. That's the second beverage I've spilled in the last 10 minutes. Yeah, it's definitely got the kiwiness.
Yeah, it just tastes like kiwi juice.
It's thicker than I want, which is really strange.
Kind of fills you up though. Like I don't want just like a juice. It's got more of a, I don't know. It's not pulpy or anything. It's just got like it's got mass.
It's fine. It's fine.
You're just sticking a scone and some yogurt, right?
I'm sticking a scone and some yogurt, but I got to show this yogurt off. How thick is this yogurt? Is this sour cream? Like what is this? I bought this yesterday, not expecting to get such thickness, and I'm back. I'm back for this. I've come back.
Stick with 2 C's, is that
Yeah.
what we're rolling?
And then you just take your scone.
I don't think that's traditional.
I don't think the scone is traditional. It's just a cake. They don't know how to scone here.
Yeah.
But you gotta give it a try every now and then, see if they've gotten any better at it.
I got some of these too. This is just like a tortilla with like stuff, like mostly it's just cabbage inside of there, but it's got a little bit of meat and a little bit of sauce. But there was, we were gonna go to a bakery, but the bakery was opened at 8 o'clock on Tuesday, and it is Sunday, so that's a bit of a wait. But that's our adventure thus far.
It's not money. It's not money.
Oh, you got shy. What's this? You're up on the couch.
Yeah, I almost fell over. It's a bit precarious there for a moment.
This is the ending of the video from Aomori where we went and saw all the ponies on the Pony Peninsula. You didn't see this little pony though, the little one that was laying down. He farted a whole lot.
Dude, I saw that pony and I was like, hey, and do you remember when I was like, why is that donkey here? You don't remember that at all?
I remember that.
That was not on the video.
I was just I was just talking about, did you see the farts?
Oh no, I didn't see the farts. You said that all of them were farting,
yeah, they were a little gassy.
I never really caught any of the farting, but I had one come at me pretty strong, and I was like, this feels really uncomfortable, so I'm gonna leave.
So anyway, yeah, we did some other stuff in this video as well, but this is the end where we remind everybody to say the comments and say the bell and say the subscribe if you want to see more. There'll be one more from.
Is that the new click?
Like... Yeah, man, slap, say, you just say it. Say that like button. Say that like.
And head over to Patreon if you're interested in getting a little more involved in our project, because that is the way that this is happening. Thank you all to everybody on Patreon, and there'll be more in the future, right?
Yes, there will be more. There's one more Aomori video, and then we are going to film more videos tomorrow, 2 days from today. Today is Thursday.
Which is not tomorrow.
Yeah,
Tomorrow's
tomorrow. We're going to film some more, so that will be on the way at some point as well. There's just more stuff coming, basically. And yeah, that's it.
Eric, I don't have my apple for the evening.
There's no apple over there?
No.
There's a big pile of bananas.
But I ate bananas for dinner.